The opinions expressed in the following program are not necessarily those of Eastlink Community TV, its sponsors, or partners.
Julie Julie. Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Julie Pellissier Lush. I am the past poet laureate of Prince Edward Island. I gave up that title in February of this year, but I will always be considered, I guess, the past poet laureate, which is still good too. And I would love to welcome you to the Voices of Epekwitk on Eastlink Community TV. Eastlink Community TV is devoted to celebrating the rich history of the First Nations people on Epekwitk. Now, in the upcoming weeks and months on this program, we will be celebrating our culture and speaking to the people in our community who are making a difference. Now, I will let my co-host introduce himself.
Gwe, Jalasi, Nindelawisi, Gipu Mokiwanu, Walalio. So hello everybody and welcome. We're very thankful to be here again on another amazing episode. And we're so honored to have these two amazing young women that are Indigenous and proud to be Indigenous. And we're so proud of them. And I'll let my mom introduce them a little more formally.
Firstly, we're going to be talking to Lexis Francis, who lives in Charlottetown, but is a member of Lennox Island First Nation, and her amazing and beautiful cousin, Emma Pickering, who lives, I think you live in Charlottetown too, right?
Morale, but I've lived in Charlottetown, so counts.
And a Lennox Island band member as well. And they are both extremely talented, creative, artistic ladies who are definitely wonderful change makers in our community. And we really wanted to showcase how amazing they are and let them be a voice to start telling their story. So we're going to start with Lexis. Now, I know when I think of the career that I've been watching you take in the last few years, I think one of the highlights I know is the experience that you just got to have with the North American Indigenous Games. Did you want to tell us a little bit like how you decided to be a part of it and what it meant for you being there and the fun things you got to do there? Because all of us just got to see the highlight reels and maybe some pictures, but we'd like to hear the real story from you.
So yeah, as you said, I competed in the North American Indigenous Games and I had so much fun. It was a really good experience because we met so many people and we made lots of friends. So I was actually the first person from Team PEI to make it to the finals for track and field.
That is amazing. I love that. And when you went over there, like, did you travel as a team or did you had a place where you met and everybody just met there?
So we actually went on a big bus, the Big Atlantic coach bus, and we drove to Halifax and we stopped at a hotel and we all got our team swag and all the cool fun stuff. So
what kind of swag did you get?
We got sweaters, t-shirts, pants, shorts, and even bucket hats.
Nice. And probably one of the saddest parts of the whole experience, I'm sure, was when there was a small little accident. And it's like it put you in crutches for at least a couple of weeks. I remember that. What happened, my friend?
So I was on the practice day, we were doing long jump and I landed at the bottom of the pit because it wasn't fully rigged. So I hit the bottom and it was like hurting for a little bit. And then the next day was competition, and it was still bugging me, but I thought I just like pulled a muscle or something. And then we started competing, and I was like, oh, it still really hurts. And then since I made it to the finals, we did the finals, and when I got up for the running, I like pulled something or hurt it even more. And I was gonna run off, but I didn't, so I made 4th place, even with the hurt back.
Yeah, that was quite a little journey you had, and we're all so very proud of you because I know you're like unsure about joining at first, and then there you are making the finals and pushing through it and making all of PEI proud, including us. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about who you are and where you're coming from. And this is about, I think, your 3rd year, maybe 1 or 4th, I don't know, for the Mi'kmaq Heritage Actors. And you kind of came out of nowhere and became one of our top performers, top dancers, singers. Anything that you want to be a part of, you do it. So with the Mi'kmaq Heritage Actors, this might be a tough question. What was your most favorite show ever?
Well, I really liked the one we just had at the Cornwall, what's it called?
Terry Fox Center?
Yeah, the Terry Fox Center. We did the biggest snake dance we've ever done and the biggest round dance. It was so much fun. There was like, I wonder, there's like so many teams. I don't know. I can't even count how many. But once one guy joined the snake dance, everyone joined.
It's really cool to see that, eh? At first, there was nobody joining, and then it just took one person to go join, and then all of a sudden, every team joined.
Yeah.
We should probably talk to the Guinness World Records to see if the biggest snake dance in the world, eh? So that was really cool. And, it was a really cool experience for all of us. And I think we've had so many different shows and so many big stages, and there's not a show or not an audience that you're not shy to being who you beautifully are, Lexis. So we love you and so proud of you.
What is your favorite show coming up, do you think?
I don't even know what shows are coming up.
We do have a lot, and honestly, every show is a new adventure. We get to go to every festival, every event, every opening all over Atlantic Canada and beyond, and there is just so many opportunities for us to share our stories, right? And I know that it's I've been watching you take that step up and become the singer in our songs, become the narrator when we have to say, hey, Gwandi Day.
Hold the note as long as you can, but I can't hold, so I'm gonna stop right now.
Which leads us, we are going to take a short break here now, but be sure to keep watching Voices of Epekwitk on Eastlink Community TV. Welcome back to Voices of Epekwitk on Eastlink Community TV. I am Julie Pellissier Lush and my wonderful co-host Richard Lush, and we are here talking to Lexis and Emma about their talents, their passions, and I think we'll get started with this portion to talk to Lexis about the different kinds of dances that she likes to showcase here with the Mi'kmaq Heritage Actors. And I know there's a few that are coming to my mind, but I will let Lexis talk about the ones that she likes to showcase when we're doing our shows.
I like to showcase the fancy shawl dancing because I get to dance with all my friends and family. I also love doing hoop dancing because you demonstrate the stories that happened in the past life. And I love doing the round dance because Emma's little baby boy Hudson smiles every time we do it, and he giggles. And my favorite dance, I think, is the Gojua, because the Master Richard taught me.
Master Richard. Now, you've kind of grown tremendously in the last couple of years of dancing. When you first showed up with your little butterfly fancy shawl, and you've grown into many different regalias and dance styles. And recently you've kind of started to go to a couple community powwows too, Maui Omis. And that's like what it's really about for us. It's being able to give you the opportunity to learn the foundation of your skills of dancing in our culture and traditions, but then you showcasing it at a powwow. So recently at the Lennox Island powwow, I witnessed that you were the Iron Woman. Now talk about that besides the last little part. How was that for you?
It was so much fun. All I could think about or hear was all my family and friends cheering me on, and that's what kept me going. It brought up my energy, and I didn't have much energy because I was a little nervous, but once I started, I kept going and going.
And you became the Iron Woman champion for the Lennox Island powwow. What is the Iron Woman? What do you have to do to become the champion?
So you basically dance until you drop or when you get tapped out. So some people got tapped out because they slowed down a little bit, but you have to keep your momentum and beat going. It has to be consistent.
How long did you dance for?
I think about 16 minutes. I could have kept going.
Yeah. You definitely danced pretty amazing. I was definitely one of the loudest cheering you on in the crowd. And it was pretty amazing just to showcase that your athletic background, your track and field, was able to convert to being an Iron Woman. And, it's really cool to see that correlation between athletics and dancing, because they're a lot the same. There's a little less physicality in dancing. That was hard for me as a football player. But it's still beautiful, and you did so amazing. Now, do you do any other dance styles outside of your culture?
Yeah, I do hip hop, and I did ballet for about 9 years. 9 or 10. I think it was, 9. I did ballet and jazz for about that, 9 years. And I just recently started hip hop.
Did you do that with, there's a dance company here in Charlottetown, right?
Yeah. I just started 24 Strong.
I've heard amazing things about that program, and it will definitely keep you in good stead. And now returning back to the round dance. Because I think it was this summer was the very first time we were doing a round dance at Founders Hall. And your nephew, your cousin, I think it would be nephew, right? Hudson came and watched you as you were performing on the sidelines and giggling and gooing. And how old is Hudson?
He's 9 months now. So back then he probably would have only been 5 or 6 months, the first one.
Oh my goodness. And so in the middle of our round dance, we are dancing and dancing. And then Lexis comes in with this cute little baby boy who's facing everybody in the crowd in the circle. And the biggest smiles ever as he's going around and looking at all the people as we're doing the circles. And I think ever since then, whenever Hudson's nearby, she makes sure to bring him in and get involved, from being in Montague to being at Founders Hall to many other numerous places. So I see an opportunity for that little boy, once he can fit into a ribbon skirt, to come and join us, I'm pretty sure. And now we did do one last show that I wanted to talk about really quick, because this was sort of one of those Paramount shows where when we got there, we had to have identification. And the reason being is we weren't 110% sure, but we were invited to go on one of these big, huge cruise ships that dock at our port here in Charlottetown. And it belongs to Switzerland, this one cruise ship that we were going on. And we didn't realize that when you are getting on a boat, you are actually entering the country that the boat belongs to. So we were leaving Canada by crossing this little board to go onto the ship. So we had to go through pretty much customs. We had to go through all the different process to make sure who we were. And I think what an amazing opportunity. What did you think about leaving the country for 10 minutes to do a show?
That was actually so much fun. It looked like a big hotel inside, and it even had a movie theater.
Can you imagine? It's like a floating city. Like it was one of the great big, huge cruise ships, and they had an elevator and flights of stairs and artwork on the wall. It didn't look like you were in a ship, did it?
No, it didn't.
And we did set off the metal detectors with our regalia. Yes, that did end up happening, but they still let us on, which is good. Oh, no, I really love that one. So we are going to take one more quick short break, but be sure to keep watching Voices of Epekwitk on Eastlink Community TV. Welcome back to Voices of Epekwitk on Eastlink Community TV. I'm Julie Pellissier Lush and my wonderful co-host Richard Lush. And we are here interviewing Lexis, Emma, and Hudson has now joined us, who is an avid fan and participant and family member of Lexis and son of Emma. So thank you so much, guys, and I will let maybe Richard start off with this section. We're going to be talking to Emma.
Okay, so Jalasi Hudson, hello, Gui. So Emma, I want to kind of talk to you a little bit about the Mi'kmaq Confederacy Justice Program. So maybe perhaps explain your role and kind of what your day-to-day looks like, kind of thing.
Yeah, so my position when I'm working, I'm on maternity leave with Hudson right now, but when I go back to work, my job is the Indigenous court worker at MCPEI. A lot of my job is helping our community understand, like, what lawyers are saying to them, what the judges are saying, just kind of being there to take them to court, their appointments, and help them understand and help the judge understand our community and how things are kind of different for Indigenous communities and how they should implement that, and just kind of be there for their support. And sometimes when people from our community get out of like jail and stuff, they don't have a home or food, so I'll help them find a place to live and help them get all kind of set back up to get back into doing their thing and moving on.
That is amazing, and I know that we need a lot of people who have big hearts to step into those roles, because the need, it's not diminishing, it just seems to, it's either steady or a little bit more. So it's wonderful that we have people with great big hearts like yours to be able to step in and help them when sometimes even their communities, even their families are having a hard time staying connected to them. So it's wonderful that you're there. And I know personally that you are also a crafter and an artisan, and I have seen some of your amazing, beautiful work. Now, if you had just a few minutes just to tell us when you decided to start working on traditional Mi'kmaq artwork, when did you decide to start beading, and how did you get started?
Yeah, so a while ago now, in high school, I had taken a beading workshop and I had really enjoyed it, but I set it down. I never got committed. And then when I started university, I felt like I needed something because school, and I was overwhelmed. So I kind of picked at it, and I was like, the first few, oh, buddy. So I picked it up again, and I never got super committed, when you first start a craft and it's not turning out like what you see on Instagram and Facebook, you're like, wow. But COVID hit, and I think everyone knows how hard that was mentally. And I was beading basically 24/7. It really helped me get through that. And eventually it kind of clicked and I got my own style. I realized I like incorporating like nature and different themes and things like that. So I don't know, I just ever since kind of like COVID was my big breakthrough, and I've just been going ever since.
And I'm going to have to ask you for some beautiful pictures later so that people can see some of this beautiful artwork. And I know that Lexis wears a lot of yes, see, look.
I know, and I'm wearing them
that.
too.
Oh, and those are beautiful. Oh my goodness. And Lexis had told me that this was your first time actually coming and dancing at a powwow, and you had the hair ties that were beaded. You had did you have I think Lexis said you had was it the choker or?
It's like a choker, like medallion. Yeah, I was working. I finally took some time off to be like, I'm going to bead something for myself because it's hard to do that.
And I know so many people appreciate the work that you create, but it was time for you to at least have something for something that you've done, which is awesome. And we love your work so much.
Yeah. So, well, Alan, thank you very much for being in that position, not only as a mom, but also for the Indigenous Justice Program, because it's very important and very needed. And I think there could be a lot more positions to help support, our Indigenous people that are getting incarcerated and don't have that next step afterwards. So we're all in for that. And Mom kind of stole my question a little bit. So how was that experience finding your way back to your culture and dancing in Lennox Island powwow? How was that?
It was nerve-wracking. I was a little nervous because growing up, like I've always known that I was Mi'kmaq. I've always known I've had status. I was from Lennox. We went up to visit family, but back when I was a kid, powwows weren't the big like exciting public event they are these days. So I think until I went to a few, but to be able to dance, I just kind of had to relearn kind of how our culture is perceived now. And I think that's a common theme for a lot of people, especially like my age and older too, like how different things have become. So I was definitely nervous, but it felt great. And I can't wait to have Hudson do all of it. He loves dancing. He loves singing. Like, I'm just so happy I connected for Hudson to be able to join as well.
So you living off reserve and reconnecting with your culture, which is absolutely beautiful. But what do you think maybe one of the hardest things would be for you living off reserve?
I feel like sometimes when you live off reserve, you kind of get missed in the community events, different maybe workshops or events going on. Sometimes I find out way later, or because I'm from Lennox and I live close to Charlottetown, I'm quite a ways away, so I feel sometimes I miss out on being with the community, which is kind of it's sad. I wish I could be there for more, but I try to get to what I can. And I've been doing a lot of work with the Indigenous PEI with my bead work, doing kind of workshops and stuff. So kind of helps me stay involved with everyone.
We both kind of knew you in a different hat. We both were in a position, some shorter than others, at the Maui Omi Center at UPEI. I know we're dwindling down our time. Can you tell us about that experience and kind of how that helped you in any kind of path in life?
Yeah, no, the Maui Omi Center was great. I got to meet so many people, and just knowing that students trusted me to come and be asked for help or if there's an elder to speak to, just knowing I could be that person to help kind of connect them or just be there for them even was a really great experience. And yeah, it really helped me with my work now too, like getting to know more people and stuff. So.
And now our last question is for Hudson. Now, Hudson, how do you like round dancing with your family when we're doing shows? How do you like round dancing? Oh! He is definitely going to be an actor. I love that. Oh, you are awesome. awesome. Well, thank you so much, both of you, for taking the time out of your day and coming and talking with us and sharing the amazing skills and talents that you both have. And you are both role models for our community for the things that you're doing and the things you continue to do to promote the Indigenous culture, the traditions, the customs, and we are both so very proud of you. So thank you so much for being on the show with us today.
Well, thank you for having us.
And thank you, Hudson.
Thank you, Hudson.
Now, thank you so much for being a part of our amazing show, The Voices of Epekwitk with Eastlink Community TV. Be sure to tune in again for the next episode of our Community Change Makers.
Now, how do we say goodbye, Lexis?
Wait, what? Yeah, no.
Which means until we meet again, Lalio, thank you very much, everybody.
Gojo walking na, 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 gojo